Halo guys. Sejenak ini hari I nak review lah. My latest read, no, the first quarter of 2024 reads of mine. I know my voice is really low. I'm sorry about that. The first one is this one. Impossible and Deadly by Bridget Cameron. I give this 4.5 stars. Hari tu, awal tahun. I read this in January actually. It was good actually. I like the ending. I mean, the ending is, the way it's supposed to be, I guess. It meant to be like that. I don't know. I tak ingat sangat lah sebenarnya. But yeah, it's like my... ada buat tab dekat tepi. If you can see. Yes. Saya ada tab kat sini. So, there you go. Also buat tepi. And then we have Dance of Thieves by Mary Pearson. I sebenarnya take a long time to read this. Kenapa lah? Tapi the first few chapters, the first halfway of the book actually, it's kind of too long. Take too long for me. Tapi like the second part of the book, second part of the book is pretty good. So I gave it 4.5 because I do like Kazi. Yeah, I do like Kazi. That's all. Okay, the third book is Code Blues. I forgot the author's name. I'm sorry. I'll put it in here. I give it 3 stars because it feels the main character. What's her name? Hope is supposedly young doctors in training, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know, it feels like teenagers mystery kind of book, you know what I mean, despite her being in her early 20s, which is, I really don't like Hope. Not that much, tapi perangai dia, it's kind of like budak-budak, like menyibuk kind of thing. So yeah, I don't like it that much. 3 stars for Code Blues. And then we have The Amateurs by Sarah Shepard, I think, and I give it 4.5 stars because it's really good. I like it actually. This book is recommended to me by my friend. She gave it to me like a physical copy of it, and I already gave it back to her since I already read it, so I don't have it with me. So yeah, this is a picture of it again. It's really good. First few chapters is like slow, not that slow. It's pretty good actually. The plot is good. I like it, and it's constantly giving me what do you call it? Surprises, I guess. Like, I kind of really thought like, oh, this is the plot, but no, it doesn't. Especially the ending, the ending really good. It really makes me like, wow. I was kind of shocked about it. But yeah, it was good. So that was that. And then we have this, Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Carver, which is the second book for Once Upon a Broken Heart. And let me tell you, yes, I actually love this book so much. This is like the second book, right? I love the first book so much. I had to buy this. you know, like I actually didn't expect it that much. When I first read the first book, I didn't know what it was about actually. I know it was fantasy, romance kind of thing, but I didn't know the whole thing until I read it. And I love, love, love Jax so much. It takes time to like Evangeline, because Evangeline do dumb things sometimes, but I love Jax, so that's good. Yeah, I love this book. This is a good series actually. I love this so much. Okay, and then this book is Twisted Game by Anna Huang, which is the last book I read in January. I finished in January. Twisted Game by Anna Huang. Okay, let me tell you a story, right? I was um I was I was scrolling through Amazon for some Kindles, you know, just scrolling. I don't even have a Kindle. I have that account, online, but I rarely use it because it's in USD and I'm not, you know, rich enough to buy stuff in USD. So I don't. But I was like, what was it again? $20? Yeah, it was pretty expensive. But again, it's the ebooks and it's in USD. What can I do, right? So I can actually ask for refunds. It's already in my Kindle, so I just had to read it, and I did. So I gave it 3.5 stars. It was not bad, but it wasn't my tropes, and I don't really like it honestly. But it wasn't a bad story. It was fine. So yeah, that is the dumb story of me just accidentally buying books on Kindle. Yeah, that's the end of my January. And this is February. The first book I finished is Come to the Edge by oh, Come to the Edge by Joanna Cavanagh. Guess like this, red edges, but it was so old. It's actually got yellowed a bit, which is kind of sad, but I can't do anything about that. I give it 3 stars. I'm not sure what kind of genre this is, but I bought it on. I was in a rush, so I just bought anything because it was on a sale, right? So I just bought anything that caught my eye, and I didn't fully, read the synopsis or everything. It was fine. I don't hate it, but I don't love the story either, you know. But it's a good knowledge, I guess. It's about what is it about? It was like a revolution or something. Yeah, that's all. And then we have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I gave it 3 stars. At the time, I was just installed Libby, and I was thinking of going through some literature because I don't read that much of literature, English literature. I mean, so it was a fun read. I think quite quite a hard one because I'm not that high on my English. I mean, I can speak it, and I can understand it because I've been learning it for some like 4 years now. So I guess I can like say I'm pretty fluent, but not that fluent for me to read literature that much, I guess. So it was hard, quite hard. But the story, I understand what he was going for, but there's a lot of highways for you to get to the end. So there's that. And then we have The Queen and the Myth by Phillip. Stacey Phillip. Yep. I bought this on a Big Bad Wolf last year at the end of the year. It was good. I guess what for like 13.99 I think, which is quite a deal. I can't show you. Yeah, it's pretty good. I really liked it. But the story in itself is quite it's a fantasy. I mean, I like the world building. The world building is pretty good. I like the what do you call it? The foundation of the world building is pretty good. But story execution, I wish is more, you know, more, because I can't understand it that much. Like it was quite confusing, and I wish there was more of the world building stuff than just the characters. I mean, the characters are fine, but I think it's a standalone, which is why it's kind of short and I don't understand much. But I guess it's a pretty good start. The cover is cute though. I like the colors. And then we have Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. This is my first Kafka book. I give it 3.5 because I like the morals and I like where it's going. I can understand why and how and this and that. But it's quite mind-blowing actually. I was like, what? But you know me, I like crazy stuff because I am crazy. True though, I am quite insane. It was a fun read, except I actually hate insects. And when some of the pieces just talk about how insects things, in the leaks and all that stuff, I was pretty disgusted, honestly. But yeah, it's good. It was fine. And then the last one for February is The Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, which is the last book for the series. And like I said, I love this series so much. You can see that I'm not big on annotation actually, but there are some books I just want to annotate. Well, it depends. If I do, I do. If I don't, then I don't. But I do a lot of tabs. I just tabs on emotions, I think. That's just me. And I have a lot of emotions apparently, which is funny. Okay. And I love this book. I love the ending. I don't wish. The epilogue, she shows about their domestic life, you know what I mean? I just want to see them happy, but we didn't get that, sadly. I guess it is what it is. At least they're happy, I guess. So that's good. I give it 5 stars, yes. And then last but not least, this is for March actually. I have a reading slump in this month. So I only read one thing, which is classical mythology book. Little bit things called classical mythology. I don't remember the title. The title is so long. It's not a fiction. It's a non-fiction, I think. was classical mythology. It's about the Greek mythology. I just feel like reading it because I was curious, you know. So I did, and this book was more of a like fun fact instead of like, you know, in depth about the Greek mythology, which is, I guess, fun, but as for someone who doesn't know much, it's kind of confusing because there are so many of them, you know. So yeah, that's that. That's all for March because I don't read that much in March. See ya.